Hey guys, this is Eric Silvermoon. This is my day 23 of my 30 Days of Magic Challenge, where I am sharing with you all throughout April my different practices, spell work, all that great stuff. And so today I actually wanted to talk to you about recalling and releasing energy. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. I have a fan in here because the sun's hitting this room and it gets very hot in here. So I have the fan going, so hopefully it's not causing too much interference. But yeah, so back to energy, releasing all that stuff. Uh, in my day job, I guess is my day job, I am a assistant district supervisor for a property management company. I oversee 18 properties with up to 27 employees. So I tend to deal with a lot of people, and each of these properties have thousands and thousands of people living in them, and so I deal with very angry tenants, with very happy tenants, and the ones in the middle. Tomorrow I'm actually going to court. Don't worry, I'm not in trouble or anything, but I have to go and represent my company in the court with stuff. So it's nothing serious, but it's experience. So in dealing with those kind of situations, and the overwhelmingness of this week, it has really caused me to want to release a lot of energy. Like every night I feel like you need to release this, you need to release it. So I wanted to share with you my favorite methods that I've been doing, that I've been recently doing, and some that I've been doing for years. One of the ones that I have been doing for years now is my Archangel Michael method, which when I'm talking about the 6 different methods I want to share with you guys, I'm not gonna go into really doing them, but I'm just gonna show you what they look like so I could talk to you while I'm going through it. So the Archangel Michael method that I do, I always desensitize my hands before I do anything magical for some reason. I think it's just intuitive. I don't really know if it does anything, but I like desensitizing my hands of that energy. And I put my hands out and I ask Archangel Michael to bless me with his presence. I ask that he comes down and I let him know that I need my auric fields, my entire being to be cleansed, and I need some energy work. And so the way that I envision him coming is I see these 2 giant hands that have a vortex in the center of each palm, and they're spiraling, and it's just sucking in the energy that I don't need, and anything I need to just release, I feel him taking that from me. So he always starts from the top of my head, and I could feel the pressure, and I feel that suction in the top of my head and in my ears, and he moves it to my face. I could feel that tingling sensation as I talk about it too, right in my third eye, in my throat, and then he just kind of moves his hands all around my body until it is all taken care of, and I feel lighter and I feel tingly. I'm like, so it's pretty interesting. It's an interesting experience. And then when I feel that it's done, I ask him to cut any auric cords that might be attached to me that no longer need to be attached to me. And so I always do this method, the Archangel Michael method, before readings and then after readings with clients, because what I do next is that I envision him getting his big sword and then just waving it past me like that. And what that does is that it cuts any connection to any client, to any other spiritual tribes that I'm dealing with. It releases any, if you think about it this way, an auric cord, it's kind of like an umbilical cord. So if I'm hanging out with you, we are attached energetically. So we're feeding off each other energetically. We're having a good time, or we're in a situation where it's very stressful and we are just interchanging energy. So by cutting that cord, you're really releasing that. Because sometimes when you go home and you feel really drained and you're already kind of like, what is that? I still feel like I'm around a lot of people. You might need to cut those cords. And I know Flora Sage talks about not only, you know, cutting them, but having someone that knows how to do it remove them, because she believes that, you know, when you just cut them, there's a possibility that they just kind of grow back. In my experience, in my personal experience, they've been very beneficial, and I haven't had any problem just by having Archangel Michael cut them. I haven't had any problem. So, you know, to each their own. I would say try it. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. I wanted to make tea, but it's so hot in here, so I didn't want to sweat. Excuse me. So the other method that I wanted to share with you is the floor sage method, which that I've been doing for, I want to say 3, almost 4 years now, and it is fantastic. And so during the year in the yay with her, the year and a day, I did her R&R method, which is the release and recall. And it's really good if you're a very visual person when it comes to meditation. So what it is that you close your eyes and you take some really deep belly breaths and really slow and controlled exhales. And you envision your aura. You envision whatever it looks like. If it's, for me, I always envision like an egg, that I'm in a giant egg, kind of like Lady Gaga. So I envision myself in an egg, and you know, I see myself as puzzle pieces. I see my energy as puzzle pieces. You know, I see it beautiful and gold and shiny. But then I also see a lot of black puzzle pieces that don't belong to me. And the way that is that when you are, you know, I like to say when I'm at Kohl's or at Target, when there's a lot of people and it's busy and it's chaotic, I get really lightheaded sometimes around big crowds. And so I always prepare myself energetically, and I put up my shields before I go into stores that are going to have a lot of people in it. And sometimes when I forget, I tend to choose to let it affect me for some reason, almost kind of as a reminder. It's like, oh, you should have put up your shield, see what happens. But so in that moment, you know, you're going through aisles, you're going through crowds or whatever, and you're exchanging puzzle pieces. So some of your gold, beautiful pieces are exchanging with other people's pieces, and the ones that don't belong to you, I feel that they turn black. And the way that this method is that once you start seeing all the black, you start visualizing yourself removing those black pieces. Because if you think about it, if there's pieces in your auric bubble that don't fit, they're just going to be bouncing back and forth and hitting all over the place in the walls, and you feel that tension. That I feel like I need to release something. I feel like my head's pounding. That's what that is, in my opinion. So by visualizing those black pieces, just kind of releasing, giving it to the universe so that the universe could do whatever it wants to it. I don't, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to go back to its owner. So that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is just to release that and recall your own. So once you really start releasing all those black pieces, and you feel like you're okay, I'm nice and clean, but I have all these missed pieces that are missing, like these kind of bald spots, if you will. Then start calling in your own energy. And normally I just say, you know, I now call my own energy back to me. And, you know, what's helped me before is that I like to envision the places that I was before or prior to it, and see these gold pieces flying super fast back to me and into place. And so eventually when you're done kind of taking deep breaths and breathing and visualizing all this, you are complete. Your puzzle bubble is complete. And so I've been doing that for a long time, and it's super effective. And I've always enjoyed it. So, you know, I call that my floor method, but I believe she calls it the R&R method. One of the other things I like to do, which I will show you, is the incense method. And usually it could be like the smoke method. But with incense, this is my favorite incense in the world. It's Nang Champa. It smells so good. I feel like every time I smell it, I'm somewhere else. Like I'm not in the small town of Merced, California. Like I'm somewhere else in a different world. And so what I like to do is that I like to light it at the end, as you normally would. And my fan's blowing it out. So, okay, perfect. And I draw a pentagram with it. And so I normally go, you know, in this direction, cross, and then a circle. But I also say a saying. So this is just kind of what oh, that went up my nose. Sorry. Normally what I like to say, and this is my method, you know, you're more than welcome to use it or change it to your own, but I always go, Great Spirit, Goddess and God, the element of air and fire, bless this house and rid of it of all negativity. Only allow love, peace, and happiness to flow in abundance, so mote it be. Blessed be. And once I do that, it kind of just blesses the incense to remove any kind of negativity. And then I just kind of shower myself in it. And, you know, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel clean. And, you know, it's just one of those things where I just want a little refresher. And it's quick. Let it burn in my house. And it's nice. So for those that I want to hear it again, I'll say it again. So what I do is, okay, sorry. So I go, Great Spirit, Goddess and God, the element of air and fire, bless this house and rid of it of all negativity. Only allow love, peace, and happiness to flow in abundance. So mote it be, blessed be. And you're more than welcome to change it. So that after this, then I just kind of leave it, and after I kind of shower myself, I just let it do its thing, and it smells so good. So I'm gonna drink some water because that's all in my throat. So the beauty of live Google Hangouts. So the other method that I have is sound method, and this, I have my singing bowl that I got for like, I want to say under 20 bucks on Amazon. It came with this really nice little cushion. The way I use singing bowls is when I really feel like I need some kind of attunement. Like my ears are clogged, but you know, you do that thing and it doesn't work. Or I feel like some of my chakras are blocked. Excuse me. I use my singing bowl, and I mentioned before that I personally like the sound when it goes like that. Hopefully it doesn't cause disturbance, but you know, I like that sound, but my fiance Eric doesn't because it hurts his ear. But he doesn't mind if I just kind of hit it and I move it to my ear so it's attuned. I shake to this side so this side's attuned, and I move it to all my chakras. You know, I just kind of move it down like that. And what I like to envision is that the sound is kind of blasting any gunk, ickiness. You know, if my third eye has something blocking it, having that kind of right there kind of breaks away any kind of gunk that's clouding it. And so what I like to think about when I do chakras is that I really do envision crystals. And so I envision, you know, an amethyst kind of, like, have you ever seen those little round palm stones? I envision that I have just crystals here and wherever. And so sometimes they could get dirty, sometimes they could get kind of foggy, and having this really, for me, cleans and opens them. So they've been very helpful. But, you know, so I use this sometimes. And also I use it to kind of clear the energy of my tools and my crystals as well, to attune them as well. So that's the sound method that I like to do. And the other method, which I just started doing, which I really like, is the crystal method, but with a god and goddess kind of twist. And so as most of you saw at my haul, I have my new amethyst, and then this one is my citrine crystal. And so I hold them in both hands. And I mostly work with the goddess energy. And I'm going to create a different video on why I only work with goddess energy. Because I feel like that, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm otherworldly, but I really feel that the God energy is in me. And I feel that, you know, working with other gods is just too much of that energy. So I only work with the goddess energy because I feel like it balances me with all that God energy and masculine energy that's in me. So when I hold the citrine crystal, it's refueling myself as the god, and the goddess in my amethyst is refueling me as well, so it's a perfect balance. So what I like to do is I usually desensitize my hands, I hold each crystal in each hand, and I take a deep breath in for the goddess. and so release. And I usually envision the goddess energy washing over half of my body, and then I take a deep breath. And the same thing with this side. And envision like the divine God energy taking in this half. And then I feel like these two waves crashing together and kind of calming down in the center of me, and it is a perfect balance. And I feel harmonious in that moment. So I've only been doing this, maybe this is probably the third time I've done this, but it's, for me, it's been pretty cool, and I feel really good. And it's quick, you know, it's only maybe, you know, if you really want to do half and half and do, you know, 4 each or 6 each, it just depends on your preference, but it's been really interesting for me. So the last method that I have that I've been working on a lot is my transmutation method. My beautiful goddess sister, Shakti, aka Melanie Wallace, you rock. We've been working a lot together. I feel not necessarily in the spiritual, I'm sorry, in the earthly realm. I feel like we do a lot of work in the ascension level and different worlds. I feel like we meet once in a while to kind of check in with ourselves. So she's been teaching me a lot about transmutation. I've been learning a lot about transmutation. And what that is being able to take one thing as, you know, taking one object and changing it to something else. And so I've been working with both of my hands because that's how I work with energy. I use both of my hands. Some people only use their receiving hand, or they use their projecting hand, but I use both. And what I like to do, what I have been doing is that I've been clearing the air without any tools and just using my hands, as well as releasing any energy that I have by using my hands. And so what I do is, again, I sensitize my hands and I put them up, and I envision the energy in the room. Normally I do a prayer just so that I'm protected during this time. And I envision the room filling up with black smoke that comes out of my hands. And the black smoke, for me, I've been working with a lot with the goddess Morrigan. That symbolizes to me that almost like that power, because it comes out of my palms very, I want to say aggressively, because it just comes out like volcanic smoke, and it fills the entire room, and I allow it to engulf the room and engulf myself in that black smoke. And when I feel that it is, you know, it's almost working like as a filter. So that black smoke is really absorbing any kind of chaotic energy, any staggered energy. It creeps into all the nooks and crannies. It gets really deep into the room. And then I start recalling it. And when I recall it, it's not going back into me. It is kind of gathering in my palm. And when I feel that I gathered all that smoke, all that toxic energy, I kind of press my hands together and compress it, almost like if I'm creating a diamond or something. And when I am ready to release, I go like this, and I envision a black crow flying away and taking all that junk. So that crow or raven is that black smoke, and it is flying away with all that negativity, and I just shake my hands, and so it is. And I've done that a couple of times now when clearing the energy from my office, clearing the energy in my other office at work, and also just when I feel like I need to. And it's been very effective, and it blows me away. And, you know, it's been fantastic. And so, you know, I really like that. You know, I know a lot of people try to cleanse the energy with aromatic therapy or stuff like that. So I did want to share with you this last one. Technically, this is number 7, but I just thought of it right now because it's right in front of me. I recently bought these at Target. This is eucalyptus oil. It was $3. And what I like to do is that for me to kind of clear the kind of like the cloudiness from my head, so that I could either think or breathe a little bit more clear. I kind of dab anything that has that mint or peppermint, eucalyptus kind of feel. I dab it right under the tip of my nose, and then I put a little bit right here. And I take some deep breaths, and it really opens up my head. It makes my ears pop, and it really opens up my nasal cavities, and I get clarity. And I do that as many times as I need to if I'm feeling stuck, or just throughout the day, just to kind of allow my head to breathe, allow for fresh air to come in to my lungs. And so it's been pretty effective. And so, you know, I know there's so many different methods, and I always say this, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the stories that you guys are feeling so comfortable with me sharing your methods and stuff like that. It's super exciting. You know, and for those that watch it later, if you like these videos, you know, give them a like, give them a thumbs up, share them with your friends. You know, I really appreciate it. And, you know, this has been so much fun. So yeah, these are my top 7 methods of how to clear your energy and how to kind of bring your own energy back. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this today, and blessed be. Take care. Bye.